So, Chris, disappointing day. We're out of the FA Cup. Can you just try to sum up how that went and maybe what went wrong?
Thoroughly disappointing. I apologise to everyone who's come up, every Parkway fan that's come here today to watch us perform, because we haven't performed, especially in that first half. They were quicker to every second ball. They were more determined and more competitive in first contacts, and we just completely didn't turn up for the first half. And when you go 3-0 down in such a manner, and I felt that at times as well we weren't keen to get on the ball as much as we normally are, and we play really withdrawn with some of our play. And we knew the opposition were going to be physical. We knew that they were going to be relatively direct with their play, and they were going to show heart. And that was one of the things that really disappointed us today, is that we didn't show enough heart. We didn't show enough courage, belief, whatever you want to call it. It just wasn't there today, and we were duly punished.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a team that we've not really done very well against in the past. Is that maybe something that kind of come into play today, maybe in the minds of the players?
100% not. Would not have even been a consideration. Obviously there would have been some talk prior to the game, but when you turn up and you go out on the pitch, you've got your plan, you've got your mindset, and you've got to bring that heart, you've got to bring that desire and courage. And there was too many of us that were off it in that first half. And like I say, if you go 3-0 down against an opposition like that, it's going to be a massive uphill struggle. I thought we were better in the second half when we moved the ball. We made a couple of tactical changes and changed our shape, but ultimately a lot of the destruction was done in the first half, and we didn't deserve to get anything out of the game. Not many players have performed to their maximum, and not enough of them have given enough. And it's something that we've said to the players that as a group of staff, we'll go back and have a look at the game, and we'll have some decisions to make, because it's disappointing to go out of the FA Cup for 100%. It was a fantastic run for us last year, and it really galvanised the group, and we're not we're going to miss out on that this year. But it's our own downfall. No one's feeling sorry for themselves, or they shouldn't be feeling sorry for themselves, because we got what we deserved today. I wish all the very best to Frome. They did a great job on us today, and we've got to make sure that when we come up against teams similar to this season, because there will be a few, is that we've got to understand that we've got to match them for that courage, that heart, that physicality. And today, too many players shied away from those moments in the game, and that's what it cost us. Yeah, we made mistakes, and we gave goals away, but we never really had a strong footing in the game because of that physical disadvantage. That's all I can really kind of say in terms of that physical disadvantage wasn't there because we didn't want it to be there, or we didn't put enough graft in. And that's the most disappointing thing from our perspective, is that our players chose, well, the majority of our players chose not to contribute to the game in that department, and that's massively cost us today.
Obviously, it's strong opposition next week, having Waterloo. How are we going to look to bounce back?
Well, the encouraging thing is that it's going to be a completely different game. Different surface, different surroundings, different conditions, hopefully as well, and it'll give us a different perspective on the game. We'll go back and reflect on this, and we'll feed back to the players on other areas where we could have been better, and how we need to move forward and evolve as a club. Because yes, we're young, but we've got some very good technical players. We are missing areas of physicality, but heart is the thing. We're prepared to go and press, prepared to go and track your runner, or fill in for your teammate if they're caught high up the pitch. Those kind of things we have to address. We'll get them in on training next week as well. We'll kind of reinforce those moments, those ideas and those thoughts, to make sure that we are more resilient, because that's something that we have to be a lot better at. We have to defend better. We have to track our men better. We have to be better in transition, second balls, all those things that just weren't there today. But for me, today's probably been the lowest point of my managerial career so far. But I'm not that type of person to kind of feel sorry for myself or do anything other than just get back on that horse, get back to work, and get these players prepared, repaired, and ready for next Saturday. Because, like you say, we're back to the league where we haven't got as many points on the board as we potentially deserve. But football's cruel. We've seen that today. Opposition can be cruel. Football can be cruel, and we've got to make sure that going into Saturday, we're fully prepared. We've got this out of our system, because that needs to be done ASAP, and we rock up on Saturday against Havant at Moorleaville and give a true reflection of ourselves and a true performance, which the fans that will travel up there will deserve. So it's one to take on the chin because we're ultimately responsible for the outcome of this game, and the guys that have come to watch the game today deserve a hell of a lot better, and we need to make sure that they don't walk away from games as disappointed as they were today, and they're proud of the performance that the team put out on the pitch, and that's our main aim moving forwards.